stare too long. Girls are starting to talk. Is it any wonder that Marianne never can come by? Can't you see that you belong? Now move along. Hurry up, don't stay. Hurry up, wait a while. Hurry up, make up your mind. It's an evil test to be the best and leave the rest behind. Hurry up, don't stay. Hurry up, wait forever. Hurry up, we'll fade away. So they're gonna make you tear it up and throw it to the flames. Better be smart. Don't think too hard. Just revise what you are. Even if you break, do what it takes. Now go and make us proud. That's enough, John. Don't carry on. Don't you love us at all? Find it in your heart to play the part. Now shut your mouth and smile. Can't you see that you belong? You belong, now move along. Hurry up, don't stay. Hurry up, wait a while. Hurry up, make up your mind. It's an evil test to be the best and leave the rest behind. Hurry up, don't stay. Hurry up, wait forever. Hurry up, we'll fade away. So they're gonna make you tear it up and throw it to the flames. Hurry up, hurry up, don't ever. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, wait forever. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, don't ever. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Can't you see that you belong? Hurry. J'ai faim de toi. Tu sais que j'ai besoin. J'ai faim, oui, j'ai faim de toi. Pas d'autre pour moi.
Hello and welcome to Totally Tell Me, a weekly entertainment review podcast where we talk about movies, music, food, and fun. My name's Dominic Mercurio, and I'm here with Laura Weinbach.
Yo,
What's up?
what up?
How goes it?
Greetings, young one.
Greetings. And our guest today, I'm very excited, is Andrew Michaan. What's up, Andrew?
Hey, I'm the guest and I'm doing well.
Yes, great. It's great to hear already.
You're definitely doing well.
And it is Sunday and we're here.
Here we are, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Okay,
I'm
I said all
very-
the crap. I said all the crap you wanted me to. So what's next?
I fed you a script, and at that point it just goes ... So
Very uninspired writing, but
right,
so be
yeah. If you want to say ... at least.
yeah,
I
I'll
mean-
do the ...
Okay, thank
It doesn't
you.
matter if you're uninspired because the painting behind you is so inspirational that anything you say will automatically
Yeah,
inspire
you know,
joy.
I've had this painting for years and years. It's just some random painting I bought like maybe 8 years ago. And
Mhm.
but you know, because I started COVID, it's become like my like kind of background painting for all my Zoom stuff and like auditions and just like everything. And it's been like a huge part of my life lately. And
Do you
it's
feel
like
that it like connects to COVID in some way? I mean, just
Well, I like
personally?
that it's like looks like I'm in like a vortex. Like for the listeners, it's just like a kind of like a red vortex kind of thing. And I like that like my head is centered perfectly in the
Yes.
center of
It
it. Like
is.
I do like it, but it is funny that it's like such a conversation starter.
It's
kind
also
of like
interesting how
Go ahead.
what when you get up, there's just a dot, like an empty hole in the middle, and it feels very.
Oh, whoa! That shocked me. That shocked me. Whoa. Yeah. Well, to me, it kind of looks like a constant mind-blowing emoji. You know, like it looks
Right.
like your head is in
Well,
a
also-
constant state of being blown.
That's a good idea. I like that. Totally blown.
Like if one
Totally blow
head
me.
could express being blown,
right.
it
right.
would be that.
Is
Yeah,
it too late to
Um,
change your name to Totally Blow Me, Laura?
it's good.
No.
We could have a spin-off. Anyways, Andrew
Get
Michaan,
that LLC.
for those who do not know, is a comedian, and he also is the co-host of a really great podcast called Podcast But Outside, which I also, well, I will say I mostly watch it.
Thanks.
But
I didn't
you can
know you
watch
did.
or listen.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
yeah.
It's just my friend Cole Hirsch and I interview strangers on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And we set up all over the world. I mean, we used to do it more outside of. We kind of would travel with it. Now we're just in LA, kind of
Yeah.
pandemic style.
And they've done some pretty crazy, kind of stunty type of things on this.
Yeah, we've done
on
some
these more recent episodes, right?
Well, things have been. I mean, it's not even on purpose. It's just the world
No,
is
I
so
know.
political now that it's just
Right.
like we went to a Trump rally, we went to an anti-mask rally. We just kind of
Right.
like these political things are happening, and it feels like. I'm not saying that we're like journalists, but it feels like an intense moment, and we want to kind of chronicle some of
Want
it.
to jump
I
on
guess.
that?
Yeah.
Jump on that maskless rally.
I just heard about
it outside.
I just
like
heard about
that.
a
Okay.
I just heard about a free speech rally that we might be going to this week.
A free
love that.
speech.
They're like mad at
so it's
Trump.
like for like hate for like the people who are now they're like revolting against his
No.
once followers. Or?
They're mad at Trump getting kicked off Twitter, so they're having a free speech rally.
Right.
oh, so
Trump
they're like
supporters.
they're
Right.
like the Constitution is being
Yeah.
betrayed people.
So we'll see. We might go to that this week. We'll see.
Wait, did you guys like? It's funny because who was I talking? Oh, I was talking to Nick Starkey yesterday and telling him about how I thought it was just really interesting how now a lot of these Trump supporters, these hardcore Trump supporters, are now like turning against him and they're like, get out of our way.
Oh,
And
we're like they're
No,
like we've
why
surpassed
am I
you.
the only one who knows this? I'm like, did you
Interesting.
guys not
I-
hear
yeah.
this news? You guys didn't hear about it because Nick didn't know about it either, and I was like, oh
No.
my god, yes.
So
It's
what do you
kind of
mean?
crazy. They like there are people who are saying hang. They were his followers, like hardcore followers, people who were part of the riot at the Capitol building, and like they're saying hang Trump, burn Trump, he's a sellout, and all this kind of stuff, and it's just really
Like said stuff
Crazy.
against them the next day or whatever
But what?
because Trump kind of like said stuff attacking the
No,
Capitol.
because Trump was like condemning the the siege at the Capitol building because he wants to like save his ass at this point. Like at this point, he's just trying not to get arrested, I guess, or I don't know what.
I mean,
but
the whole stuff with Trump is it's like.
I
think-
Andrew, you're cutting out.
Yeah.
Oh, what about now?
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Yeah.
The whole stuff with Trump is it's like not even on a political level, but it's like everyone at every step has known that he only cares about himself. So like
I know.
for his followers to be surprised that like at this moment he's kind of abandoning them is just like I mean of course, you know.
But I don't think that they're surprised. I think they're just like, we are the monster you created, and if you're
Right.
not going to do what we want, then we don't fucking need you.
Yeah.
And so for him to be surprised is actually kind of an abomination because he has
Sure.
always perpetuated that kind of behavior. I mean, there's just no value in loyalty, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
at some point, if that's all you cultivate, then you're going to be bound to probably have to reap what you sow, as they say. But anyway, I just find it interesting that I don't know. I felt like it was like headline news yesterday or whatever. And I feel like I'm the only person who knew about this. But yeah,
I actually
I'm really,
I've been like away from my computer and news for actually a few days now. I feel like I've just kind of been running around. I mean, I guess alone, you could say, but just I had to like drive all sorts.
Running
of
around
places.
alone?
Well, I
Naked,
just mean
or-
like naked. But
with your
uh,
dog.
yeah, well, actually, that was
Yeah.
part of it. I'll get to that later. But basically, I
only-
just feel like I've been out of the news. Is what is
The only
summary.
news stuff that I read is Harry Potter updates. So if it's not
Wait, is that? Is that a blog or something?
If it's not on the Harry Potter update site, I don't get it. I don't see it.
So the last time they posted an article was like in 2000 what?
No, because
16?
they do follow like some of the stuff that.
Some of the recent things Harry Potter has done, like
Yeah,
you know,
like
he
they kind of
started a new
follow.
school.
Yeah, they follow the stuff that he's done after the books. They kind of go off on their own thing.
Well, that's like what do you call it again?
Fan
fiction.
fiction. Fan fiction. But for me, it's fact. It's not really fiction.
It
fact.
lives.
It's
It
alternate
feels
fact.
like fact to you.
It feels real.
Yeah.
That's all that matters, as we know, as Trump has taught us.
Right. Let me also just mention real quick before we get too deep into the chitter chatter is that we will be in the second half of the episode reviewing Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery, which is the 1997 classic. I mean, I don't know. I guess
Wait, is
it's
that
at
really
least
the entire title? It's
Yeah.
Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery. Oh
Yeah,
my God,
yeah,
you
yeah.
learned something new.
I mean, but most people just
I
call
didn't
it
realize
Austin
that.
Powers.
Yes,
Well,
I'm one of
maybe
those people.
I think people might call it the longer title more now since there's 3 of them, you know, in the trilogy. So I think that kind of distinguishes them because the other ones were Goldmember and what was the other one?
Spy Who
Yes.
Shagged Me.
Spy Who Shagged Me. Yeah.
Wait, is Spy Who Shagged Me Part 2?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Because like I'll just mention this and then we can talk about Austin Powers later. But
Mm-hmm.
I watched it till the very end as I normally do. I watched like the credits and everything, and then it started automatically playing another movie, and I guess it was Austin Powers 3 because I wasn't sure, but I was like, this seems so new and like not as good. and I was like, but it's actually funny because it starts off as kind of a parody of like a movie making a movie about Austin Powers. So it's supposed to seem kind of cheesy, but then even when they went into like the real movie, it seemed just not quite as good. But I remember, I haven't seen Austin Powers 2 in years, but I remember that one being hilarious, you know, also, or it being pretty good. But part 3 I never did see, so I was like not sure.
I think it was funny. I don't know. I haven't
Oh
seen.
really? Okay. It
haven't
has like
seen-
Britney Spears in the beginning and just like all these people.
Two does?
No, in part 3. Part
3. I mean,
Yeah.
I saw part 3 once. I think like when it first came out, and that was it.
I don't.
But,
Yeah, I just didn't see it.
I mean, anyways, so we're gonna talk about Austin Powers in
Okay,
the second half of the episode.
Part 1.
We'll give our part 1. And you know what? Maybe part 2 and 3 at this point. But we're gonna give our thoughts on that film in the second half of the episode. But first, we're just gonna kind of chit chat, catch up, etc., etc. You know, see what's going on, hang out with you guys. So if you're watching, you could be watching live right now on either YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook. Or you might be listening later on podcast services. But if you are watching live, feel free to comment. We will see your comments and we can, incorporate you into the show as we move along here. But yeah, I guess first up, I wanted to see what you guys have been watching lately. Maybe we'll start with our guest here, Andrew.
Yeah, I just rewatched the whole Girls Gone Wild series.
You did not. You binged
Yeah, I
it?
started with I binged from the first one, and
Okay, wait.
Why?
I have
Why?
questions. Do you mean like the tapes, that you could buy?
yeah,
Okay.
I got my hand on the original VHS.
Okay,
No,
all right.
You're
I'm
lying.
kidding. I'm kidding. I was just thinking about those today, and like the idea of revisiting Girls Gone Wild.
I mean, we
I
did
never
revisit
even
something from the
visited
90s
it.
already.
I never even visited it one time. Like,
No, but you like
I don't even.
visit-
Okay,
You visited the commercials, which like
And
count.
Commercials.
that's all that matters.
That's all that means. Like those commercials were
Okay.
so ubiquitous.
Iconic.
Yeah.
wait, hold on. Let me just try to put together my associations with that because I remember Girls Gone Wild as a total craze, like, and it was such a famous like title. But
Yeah.
I also seem to be associating it strongly with Jerry Springer. Is there a reason for that?
No, I don't
Okay,
think there
never
was.
mind.
No.
I don't know why.
I would
feel
associate it. I would associate it more with bum fights. Do you remember that?
like bum fights. No,
Bum
what is-
fights.
what
Yeah.
is
Do you remember that, Dominic?
Like this, is that also a series in a similar way?
Yeah.
or-
They're pretty similar in terms of they're just kind of like loser guys kind of exploiting people. So in Girls Gone Wild, they are just like entrepreneurial young guys who basically would just go to like college parties and get drunk girls to expose themselves and then have them sign like a release while they were drunk, kind of. And then they
Right.
basically made money off of it. And bum fights is similar where they would like find homeless people and get them to like fight each other. and film them and sell those VHSs as well. Like the underground VHS market.
That
and
sounds
maybe,
way more interesting. In a
I mean, they're
way.
both pretty bad. And I even wonder maybe they didn't even get releases because they were just kind of like VHSs sold on, like in the mail. Maybe it wasn't as like
Right.
hardcore. But in any case, both very exploitative, both pretty bad.
Yeah.
Right. Well, like Girls. So I never actually did see a Girls Gone. Have you ever
But have
actually
you
seen
seen-
a
I
don't-
Girls Gone Wild?
Have you
I don't
seen the
think I
commercial
have.
though, Laura? Like, do
Yeah,
you
I've
know
seen
what
the.
we're talking
I
about? Okay.
remember I totally remember the commercials, but I'm trying to remember like why I haven't actually seen it. And now you
Now,
just explained that.
do either of you have like an image?
Basically.
Does an image come to your head when you think Girls
Yeah,
Gone Wild commercial?
I think of Spring Break
Okay.
for sure, like on the
I
beach.
think of girls in like bikinis, basically.
Yeah, definitely bikinis.
bending over.
Yeah.
I think whipped cream titties. I mean, I feel like that was an image that I saw. And I'll note too, like, as a little closeted gay boy, I mean, this was like a very interesting thing for me to witness as well. But
you were
like,
like,
What
I
did you-
don't care if they're going wild.
Or were
actually,
you like,
I
I
kind
don't
of was
care?
like,
Were you
I
like,
was-
I
Oh,
don't
you
care
were
if
into
I'm
it?
gay.
I was
I
like,
like those
look-
titties with cream.
it's like the only thing that was being presented to me was this, so I was kind of like, I guess I like this. Like, I guess I'm supposed to like be into these whipped cream titties or something because it seems like these boys certainly are.
Oh my God, I was right. I just made that assessment and I was right. I said Dominic was thinking, I don't care if I'm gay. I like these whipped cream
Like,
titties.
we'll set that aside. We could work past that.
I mean, that's just the power of going wild, Like,
yeah, they really
it
were
doesn't
going
even
wild.
matter if it's your cup of tea. If it's going wild, you're interested,
It's true. It's true.
Anything
Right.
going wild.
I wasn't gonna wait for Boys Gone Wild. I was
No,
gonna settle.
no.
I was gonna settle.
Yeah, if something's going wild, I mean, it's just there's a certain animalistic, primal kind of sexuality to it that even if it's not your thing, you're into
Right.
it.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. So did you ever watch a video?
No,
Dominic?
I don't think I ever did. I mean, I don't think I knew anyone who ever had them, but they were.
know.
I mean, they were all over. Those commercials were everywhere.
I know they were
in the
everywhere.
90s.
It's crazy. But wait, Dominic, did you ever watch one?
No. I mean, just the commercials.
Did they ever get in trouble for this? Since they were like kind of getting
They-
girls to sign under.
They must have. I
influence.
searched it on Google just earlier because I was curious about it, and I think I think they made them until 2011, which is kind of crazy.
Right.
Damn, that is crazy.
Well, as they say, rape culture was a big thing
Yeah.
for like
Yeah.
a long up until like the Me Too movement, basically.
I mean, I don't want
In
to
a
jump the
way.
gun, but I kind of think Girls Gone Wild and Austin Powers are kind of like symbiotically involved in that culture. I'm serious. Like,
well, there's
we'll
a couple
we'll get
moments.
into
In
it.
it.
Yeah.
We'll get into
that.
it.
We'll
but
get into it.
But yeah.
yeah, the guy's name is Joe Francis, who started Girls Gone Wild. It's unclear if he ever got in trouble. Oh yeah, he got in trouble.
He did. He really got in trouble.
Yeah,
Wow.
but not hugely as much as you would think, honestly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Nicole just
Yeah.
commented that my boyfriend says it's a long commercial, and that I was thinking that too. Like those commercials were we're not just talking like a 15-second spot. We're talking like it was like 2+ minutes. It was like
Yeah.
basically they wanted you to just kind of get the whole gist. Every scene.
Yes. It was mostly on MTV, right? Like, and like, or was it all over the place?
Yes, I remember,
remember just
MTV.
that it would only come on in the later hours of the evening because I remember when we'd have like sleepovers with some of my friends.
that. When you guys were getting ready to watch Girls Gone Wild whipped cream edition.
I just
Be
remember
like, let's forget we're gay for just tonight. Just
well,
for
I
tonight.
mean, look, they didn't know I was gay, and I'm pretty sure they were all straight. And I haven't checked in with them lately. But
That'd be
one
funny
can
if the
assume.
That'd be funny if the
Wow.
commercial started like that. It was like, "Hey, gay boys, forget you're gay for the next 90 seconds. We got a long commercial for you."
For the next 90 seconds, you're straight as fuck.
Straight as hell.
Or like, hey, Christian parents, we got something that'll cure your gay child. Girls
Just
Gone
throw
Wild.
this on. And
That's their
you're
song.
gay. You come out to your Christian parents. They buy you all the Girls Gone Wild DVDs for
They're
VHS.
like, son, we thought these would help. They've helped your father. They've helped me. And we thought, you know what? Have fun with it.
right.
All the girls signed NDAs.
All right, Andrew, what else have you been watching? or was that it?
That was just a joke.
Okay.
I just watched the first half of the Tiger Woods documentary. I mean, I guess I'm on a '90s kick, but
Tiger
Yeah,
Woods
totally.
documentary.
yeah, on HBO, it's good. It's interesting. You falling
Oh,
asleep?
sorry. I thought you said something about golf, or I don't know.
No, it's interesting. I mean, it was the first half was
It
really
is?
good.
Oh, okay.
I just don't know much about him, really. I mean, I know he
Me
had a
neither.
meteoric rise to fame. Um, but yeah, I mean, his dad just kind of like really trained him to be the best golfer and like kind of thought he was going to be like the next Gandhi because he's like just going to be such a huge influence on the world of golf and opening it up to people who aren't white. And and he did in a lot of ways. And it was
Yeah.
interesting. It's an interesting story.
Nice.
Interesting that you should mention something about sports.
Oh, yeah?
We'll
Well-
talk in a second.
Oh,
I'm going to
okay.
get something for you guys.
Okay.
But I also just want to preface by saying I do not like sport. I'm not a sports person.
I
You
mean-
could be speaking
No.
Greek to me. I just
But
I have
Did
no
you watch
interest.
like the O.J. Simpson
O.J. Simpson documentary? Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
The one on ESPN or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah. Wait,
Yeah,
was
yeah.
it ESPN? Yeah,
think
I guess
so.
it was.
It was incredible, whatever it was. But
It was
I would-
incredible?
I thought it was really good, personally. But I would consider this, and I also approve of everything OJ did, but I would consider this this Tiger Woods thing is kind of similar, that it's not about golf. It's about
Part and
his
parcel to
place.
It's
the whole
about
girl's
him
gone wild.
murdering his wife.
No. It's just about like his place in history, you know, and like and what
Oh
he
wait, then
did.
maybe I didn't see it because I thought it was like largely about how he like murdered his. Well, I mean,
Maybe
just
you're
the whole
thinking.
style.
I think you were thinking of the. Are you thinking of the dramatic one, the one that was like actors?
Maybe,
There was one on
yeah, I guess
Netflix
so. Oh,
pretty
you know what?
recently.
You know who was in it was actually the woman who was in that movie that we talked about. What's it called? Run or no, not Run, but wait,
Runs
was
a
it Run?
movie that we were talking about recently.
Yeah, Run. Yes, the one who played the mom in that. She was in the O.J. Simpson thing, so it must have been a dramatic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
that was good. That was the American Crime Story.
Right.
Yes.
There was
right.
also an ESPN documentary on O.J. Simpson that was
Okay.
really, really good, and like
Oh.
it came around around the same time, but that was like incredible. But I would say this Tiger thing is similar, where it's just like his cultural place in history and what he did for as an icon and as a celebrity, and it's all interesting.
All right. All right.
Anyway,
okay.
and they're also both kind of similar in the sense that they're black men who kind of were like. I mean, OJ's whole thing is that he kind of considered himself white. Like that's a big part
Right.
of the ESPN documentary.
Well, he didn't consider himself like a race. He didn't.
Yeah,
consider
yeah.
himself-
And it's interesting because Tiger's involved in a very white sport. And anyway, that's what I
Right.
watched.
No, I
recently.
hear that. I hear it.
Yeah.
Laura, what have you been watching?
What have I been okay, I mentioned this to Andrew the other night when we were hanging out for the twins' birthday, which you missed. That you
Yeah,
were
we had
invited.
a big in-person party, no masks. It was awesome.
No
I was
masks.
oh,
There was a
damn.
lot. We actually had the Girls Gone Wild show up. We got
Yeah.
them. We booked them as a kind of
Yeah.
little séance. And what was I gonna say? What were you
Cobra
saying?
Kai.
Cobra Kai. Yes. How did you know? God damn
Because
it.
you,
talked about
you
it
just said you
the
were
other day.
talking about it a couple nights ago. I
Well,
mean,
you
you
were
set him
listening,
up and
good.
you missed the ball.
Cobra Kai, indeed. Yes. Karate Kid people. Indeed.
Right,
yeah.
right.
It's watched season 3. Binged it I watched like 2 episodes the night before, and then we watched the rest of it the next night. And have you watched any of it at all, Dominic?
Nope.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Is
I'm
it good?
I'm in a lone boat over here because season 1 is kind of good. I mean, it's not good, but it's fun. If you're like into the Karate Kid franchise, then, or at least like parts 1, 2, and maybe 3,
Mhm.
then you might have some interest in it because it brings back like a lot of the original actors, and it also like includes clips from the original movie like as flashbacks kind of, and it's just, I mean, it's really bad but kind of good, and the actors are very Disney Channel-esque and just very kind of pubescent and pubic.
Pubic. Okay. Okay.
Pubic.
I don't know. You guys have to you have to kind of be there, but
I mean, do they go wild?
I've been
or
watching what?
Do they go
It
wild?
does get kind of wild actually.
Okay, okay.
On season 3, but
I watched the first couple episodes of season 1. I liked it. I just haven't finished it,
Oh,
but I liked
do
it.
are you a fan of like the Karate Kid 1 and 2?
I saw it a
or-
long time ago. I got to honestly rewatch them to really appreciate Cobra Kai, I think.
Mhm. It was weird. Like for me, I mean, I know I'm older than both of you little boys over here, but
And you always will be.
and I always will be. But for me, growing up, the Karate Kid was like such a huge phenomenon. Like people were so into it. I feel like it really was just like a big deal, and everybody saw it. And so I guess it sort of, I don't know, maybe it just like means more to my generation. I don't know. I mean, not that we're like from a different generation, but a little
I
bit.
mean, I get it. I get it. I mean, I didn't watch those, so I mean, I think I would have to. I would have to.
You
just
did
start from
watch them or
square
you
one.
did not?
Did not.
You did not.
Did not.
Right, exactly. I don't think you would care at all about Cobra Kai then. So let's just not talk about it.
I was gonna mention really quick before we move to some other shit here that we got. That I finished Queen's Gambit. I think I mentioned
Oh yeah.
last time that I had started it.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta say, like, and I'm not gonna spoil anything, by the way, but it did not really like culminate in the way that I wanted it to. But it's still like good overall. You know, like it's still pretty good. You know.
I mean, it's
Have you seen that,
watchable.
Andrew?
I have. I would say it is good and forgettable.
Right.
Yeah, like I was really into it in the middle. Like
Me too,
while
yeah,
I was
me
watching
too.
it, I was like, okay, this is getting good. There's some fun little twists going on here. I'm really into these characters. Obviously, I love the visual style. It's like I feel like that's a really striking thing about it. It's just total eye candy so much of the time. But yeah, I feel like it kind of was falling apart for me in like the final couple episodes. I gotta say, but you know, I mean, hey,
Yeah,
See, I don't even remember what happened at the very end, but
I enjoyed the
That's fine.
ride, but yeah,
Yeah.
I hear you on that. I hear you.
Yeah,
on
I
that.
remember enjoying the ride. That's about it. And that
Also,
there was
she
chess.
she didn't really go wild once.
no, not once.
I didn't see any of the
No.
motherfucking whipped cream
No, she was
titties
so
up in that shit.
stoic.
That was some
She-
bullshit right there.
Yeah, not once.
That
did
was
she
why
just
I gave it-
remove
I
her
gave that
shirt
shit
at
a
the
C.
chessboard.
And there were
Tough.
shots where you could see her upper body and you could see whipped cream in the background, and
Yeah,
they
it's
never
like-
combined them.
It's like put two and two together
I
already.
know you're teasing
come on.
us.
Like you might be playing chess, but like
Put
aren't
two
your
and two titties together at this point.
Yeah, quit playing chess and start playing chest. You know?
yeah, like I mean, don't your titties like just need some warmth or something? Like, I mean, come on. Anyways,
Especially those parts when she was in the orphanage. They really could have
Yeah,
really done something with
definitely.
that.
Definitely.
I mean, there were so
I feel
many
like
girls
those were
in there.
the perfect opportunities to get some watermelon-sized whipped
Yeah.
cream covered titties up in there.
No.
But what are you doing?
And the janitor's like, I gotta
The
clean those
janitor
up.
could have been up in there.
He's like, I gotta clean up the mess.
The janitor could have at least had some fun when he was playing that chess game with.
He was showing them how to play
Child.
chess. Actually, he was teaching them how to play chess.
Wouldn't that be funny if there was like a bunch of like movies and TV shows from now on where like the whole start of the show is like the main character living in an orphanage and learning whatever it is they're into by a janitor in the
Janitor?
basement. Like there's like a
It's
boy
like
who's
that.
he's like a football star and it like goes to his childhood and he's learning in his orphanage basement with a janitor. It's like
That's
that's
a
just like a
classic
trope
thing.
of like the orphanage janitor.
I wouldn't
And
put
he's
it
like
past-
magical. He's magical.
The magical janitor.
He like can also disappear.
and he like poofs off to the next series that you'll see. In
Sometimes
6
only his
weeks'
eyes
time.
appear.
Yeah.
And his broom. Or like his mop.
I was
Yes.
reading that Queen's Gambit was like it took a really long time to convince them or
Yeah.
to convince executives to give it the go. So it is. I feel like it's primed to be the series that then will now be copied ad nauseum. You know, because
was
usually
good.
when there's like an outlier, when there's something that's a little different, then everyone that becomes popular, of course, then everyone else just like eats it up.
I mean, that's a classic thing in Hollywood is people don't want to try a new thing, and then once someone else tries a new thing, everyone tries to copy it, and then
It's called Excess Hollywood up in here.
oh, excess Hollywood.
That's what I
Excess
call it.
Hollywood.
No, but the next show is going to be all about Connect Four. Just you watch. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be fucked
Queen's
up.
Gambit is good though. I do think it was
Connect
pretty
Four
good.
titties, that is.
Oh, I
Yeah.
like that.
Okay.
Now
What
you
about
got me
Guess Who?
talking.
You could guess whose titties these are. It's a rack of titties like on your little board. You know
Wait,
what I
what?
mean?
Okay,
Have
do
you
you
played
guys
Guess Who?
remember? Wait, were you guys? No, wait. I don't know if you left early, Andrew, but at my wedding, they were playing a hilarious game. Like this was kind of later on in the evening. It was like Brent was sitting at a table with Trevor, and I don't remember if you were there at that point, but they were playing a game with an iPad where they were just showing the body of like a guy or someone.
Oh yeah, I remember
And
this.
it was like
yeah.
guess
Yeah, you
that.
were there. You were-
guess
we were
whose
both there,
chest
yeah.
that is.
Yeah, that was funny.
That
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
hilarious.
That was
Guess whose
funny.
chest?
What was it?
I don't
You
know, that
just
was-
showed there like it was just showing a bare chest, or was it like a clothed chest?
I
Bare
think it was
chest.
bare chest. I think
There's
it was
a
like
lot
you
of bare
search
chests.
celebrities bare chest, and then you would just show it, and then have to guess who it is.
Yeah. We were like zooming in
Did
on the
people get
picture,
it?
so you
Did you
could
guys
not
get it
see.
right? Did you
yeah.
guys guess it correctly ever?
I mean, I don't remember. It was definitely difficult.
There was some correct
that
guesses.
seems
though.
really hard.
Remember Brent got one that was like
rock hard.
really,
What?
yeah, there was just some really obscure one that he just got like right off the bat.
Immediately.
Yeah,
Really?
he was just like he saw that chest and he was like boom. I forget who it was, but
I wonder if it was like Steve Buscemi or someone.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
we did do Ozzy Osbourne because he has like a real interesting kind of chest. You know, it's like very saggy.
Oh man, we should totally play
Oh,
that
no.
game on this show.
Is he? No.
That'd be fun.
Iggy
One
Pop.
ti-
Iggy Pop is what I'm thinking
Oh,
of.
I know. I actually probably could guess Iggy Pop's chest too,
Yeah.
because you know why? Because he's topless in a lot of pictures of himself,
Right,
so it's kind of hard to miss that.
and it's
but-
distinct. I mean, it's
Yeah, it's distinct. It's distinct.
It's distinct.
But
Um,
no, that'd be a good segment.
someone just corrected me and said, "You mean Iggy Pop?" Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What
Oh,
did
I
you
think
say?
that Cooling Prongs. Wait, I always forget who's Cooling.
That's Chris Fleeger.
Chris Fleeger. Okay, yeah, Chris Fleeger. What's up? Yes, I mean Iggy Pop.
What? Wait, who did you say? I thought you said Iggy Pop.
Yeah, I think I messed up in the beginning. I mean,
I heard Iggy Pop.
I heard Iggy Pop.
Oh, good.
too.
All right. Well, sick. Great.
That's what I darn well heard.
Laura, you have a note in here about calendars. What's that you're not getting enough? What's this?
Oh, that's my note. No, I really love calendars, like wall calendars, and I feel that this year there's just not as many to buy. I looked all over, you know. Anyway, I was gonna show you guys, but actually, should I bring on my little prize that I was gonna present? to you
Yeah.
guys?
Let's see.
Oh,
All right,
yeah,
so
I mean,
just-
I want a prize.
You guys just be on hold for a minute, and I'll be back and talk amongst yourselves.
Sure thing. I mean, on that prize front, I'll just mention really quickly that if you had tuned into last week's episode, we were giving out some prizes, and we still got a couple more to send out to you guys. I just have to drop off some stuff at Laura's house. We live across the bay from one another, but they will be coming out shortly. But I do believe that some of you should have gotten your prizes, so just enjoy those, I suppose.
What were these prizes?
We did a top 10 of 2020 episode where we were counting down our 10 favorite films, and then we were giving away. Actually, I have one of them is this book that I have still yet to send to Chris Fleeger, actually, who's in the chat. So Chris, this is coming to you. But this is the end of the fucking world's like graphic novel, and then it's going to come with some chocolate from Laura. We were giving out I think we gave out like a gift card to.
Is that based on the TV show?
Yeah. Or
That was
actually,
a great show.
the TV show is based on the graphic novel.
Oh, I love the show. It's great.
Yeah, I love the show
Okay.
too. We were both fans of it here on Totally Tell Me.
So, anyways,
Yes.
I just
Prize round.
wanted to. I wanted to get a little snack today just to treat myself as a gift. So I got this.
Oh my God.
A
Feliz
baseball,
cumpleaños.
a baseball cake.
This is an ice cream cake
So you just got this for yourself.
from Baskin Robbins.
And it says Feliz
And-
Cumpleaños, and
Did
it has a baseball.
And you requested
does,
that
and it-
writing, or
Yes.
What happened? How did that happen?
Well, I just got it, and because I really wanted a snack. No,
What?
truth be told,
Yeah.
just to get a good look at this beautiful, smooth, razor-edged baseball with grass.
It's
I
pretty
mean,
beautiful.
Yeah, that looks
It's
like a
gonna be good.
styrofoam
I'm
ball.
about
It
to-
looks.
It's
Just-
not a styrofoam ball. It's a real cake. I'm about to dip into it. It's been in the freezer all this time.
Oh, you're gonna eat it
And-
live. Okay, what a treat.
Well,
What a
here,
treat for
this
us.
Let me. All right, fine. The truth is, and I'll just do this now that I've shown you guys what it looked like. The thing was the twins' birthday. So my little brother, I have two twin little brothers. For those who don't know, it was their birthday. They live in New York, and we were talking about how it would be cool if they could get a cake for their birthday. But they just didn't. We didn't think of it on time, and I was like, "Why don't you get an ice cream cake?" So I was looking at Baskin Robbins, and they have so many cool ice cream cakes. It's unbelievable.
They do.
This
yeah.
wouldn't have been my first choice, but this was the best choice they had today. They had this one. I wish I could show you a picture. It was called the Blue Monster Cake. Imagine a cake that was a blue monster just made out of blue frosting that looks like this grass right here. The whole
Wow.
thing covered in that grass.
Kind of like a
basically.
Cookie Monster looking thing.
I mean,
I'm
was
assuming
gonna-
they probably just
wanted
couldn't
to
get the
get
rights
that.
to Cookie Monster.
No, they actually did have a Cookie Monster cake there that looked like the Blue Monster, but It didn't have the right filling for my taste in it because it had chocolate, and I don't really like chocolate ice cream.
Wait,
But
so
anyway,
this is
vanilla?
for. Oh,
so this
good.
has vanilla cake with Oreo cookie ice cream on the inside, which that'll work. I mean, I would have chosen to. I would have preferred either a mint and chip or a chocolate chip, but
Yeah.
you know what?
I
When
can't
you're
tell
doing
how
the day
heavy
of,
it is. Like how
it's
heavy is
heavy. This is a
Okay.
baseball. Okay. Now, let me just tell you. So the twins' birthday, we couldn't get them a cake, so I thought, you know what? I'll just get a cake, and I'll eat it for you
Okay.
too.
that? Okay.
So-
Nikki's in the chat, by the way, and he says,
Yeah,
so,
Nick,
he said, so that's the cake you got? And then he said,
This
why
is
didn't
the-
you get
okay.
the monster cake?
I didn't. I didn't get the monster cake because I forgot to order it yesterday. You got to give them 24 to 48 hours, and the unfortunate fact of the matter was I woke up yesterday at like 9:00 a.m. and then I called them at around 9:45, and they were not there. And then I realized they didn't open till 11 a.m. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go back to sleep. And then when I wake up, I'm gonna motherfucking call them and I'm gonna order that cake. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get it for the show tomorrow so we could have a nice fun time on the show. And lo and behold, I forgot. I done forgot to call them all day yesterday. I woke up this morning thinking, oh my God, I forgot to order the cake. So I'm gonna see if they can make me a monster cake in less than 24 hours. I called them. Motherfuckers did not be down to make me a cake up in here.
They were
So
like, "You like
I went-
baseball?"
they were like, we do have a selection of cakes in store if you want to come in. So I got my KN95 mask, got on my magic carpet, got the, F out of here. No, I went over there and they did have a selection of cakes, believe it or not. And they actually did have a kind of monster cake that would have been similar to the monster cake, Nikki, that you and I talked about. But I have to say, it didn't look as good. This, I was going to get an Angry Birds cake. That was what I was going to get, to be honest. It was basically like this baseball, imagine round, but yellow
But a
and with a
bird.
bird's face
Right.
on it.
Right. Much like an
It
Angry
looked
Bird.
so good. I love the look of it. And I like the fact that it was yellow, but this will work.
Why didn't you get Angry Birds? What happened?
Because I couldn't put the order. They didn't
Oh,
just
oh, oh.
have that
Right.
there.
They didn't
that
have
was
that
the
one.
one I would
You
have
had to
like
order
maybe
it.
ordered for myself.
Got it.
You
Right,
guys got to go on that website. Just look at the artistic creations they have. Let me tell you. So in
So you got this,
in honor of
candle burning right now.
yes,
About to
I
trip
made that
all
candle
over
by
this
the way.
baseball. Oh.
So I just wanted you guys to see the cake, and I'm gonna have a piece, and it's gonna be good. All right, one,
Fill
two,
us
three.
in.
Mm.
Did you
You're
make a wish
welcome,
on their
twins.
behalf, by the way? Or
Sure.
okay, great. It's good to know.
But I hope you guys like
So-
this cake, and I'm gonna eat it for you.
Okay, sick.
So, are you
How
guys
about-
ready to see me cut into it? Because this is. Tell me, would you like to eat this? Does it not look good to you, or just tell me the truth?
I gotta see the inside to be honest. To
This
really make
doesn't
an
look
assessment.
appealing, When I see
as
something
of
like
now,
this-
I would say no, but
Andrew. No.
It just looks so not real. It looks like
Exactly. Exactly.
it's just like a ball of white. I mean, it doesn't look like a cake.
Exactly. That's what looks so cool about it is that you can eat this unreal looking thing.
Laura, I think
I've
you'd
always
be
wanted
really
to eat
into
something that doesn't look real.
I think you'd be really into this whole phenomenon that I was seeing happen, and I think mostly I was seeing the pictures on Twitter of like people posting pictures of foods that looked like savory foods or just like random objects, and then they would just take a knife and cut into it, and you realize that it's cake.
It's a cake.
I feel like
yeah.
this
Oh,
would
I
be
love
your
that.
kind
I
of
love
thing.
that.
Like
It would.
It's like
I love
a
it.
burger that looks like
I love
like
it.
a realistic burger.
Love
and then
it.
They just cut into it, and you're like,
Love
oh, shit,
that.
that's
This
cake.
is hard as dick. Oh my god, it's
You're
so
gonna
hard.
You might die
Damn it, I
live
should have
on
taken
Totally
it out
Telling
like
right
before
here.
the show. All right, see, I
Yeah,
didn't want
you-
to take it out because I love the smooth texture. I didn't want it to melt or drip or
We
anything.
might have to
so-
heat things up on the show and kind of let
Yeah.
it kind of get.
We
get
could come back
Alright,
to
we
it,
can
Laura. We
eat
could come
things.
back to it.
Alright,
Andrew,
let's
I
do
wanted to see if maybe
Yeah.
you could present something else to us, which is I do believe that you've gotten a new puppy.
Yeah, she's been in my lap this whole time.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, she's so cute.
Wow.
Adorable.
So what is it? Her? Or
Yes.
Her name is Spinach.
spinach? Okay.
I.e. spin or spinny,
Right.
What
Or
made you come up with that name?
Spinderella or Spin Doctor or Spindrift or
I had a spinach.
Osama Spin Laden.
Very good, very good. She's
I
got.
like spinach.
She does look like she's gonna hold up in some Afghanistan hole.
No, I kind of my animal. I have two other animals: Bluetooth, my other dog, and then Eggs, my cat. And I kind of like unique dog names where I don't hear other people with those dog names or animal names.
Mhm.
And I
Egg
don't know. I was
is
just
your cat?
my cat's name is Eggs. Yeah,
Eggs? That's
Yeah.
so cute. I love that it's plural.
Eggs is 11. I've had him for a long time. And so I was just thinking. I don't know. I was just thinking of names, kind of brainstorming, and I thought of Spinach. And I think it's good because I like that there's a nickname Spin. My dog's name is My other dog's name is Bluetooth, and I call him Tooth a lot. And that's like.
Not blue.
No, it's
No,
not blue
Tooth.
actually. It's more
Not
Tooth.
blue. Not blue. Okay. Okay.
But I think it's good to have a one syllable thing that they can remember, but then also have a longer one. And yeah,
Right.
Does he? So he responds to both.
he responds to both.
So spinach. Because you had another dog named Crouton.
Oh
That
yeah,
was
and that was another
so
dog I had.
cute.
Yeah,
Oh
And that
my
was
God,
the
that
cutest
is-
name. And I
Crouton's a
love
great
the
name.
name. And I think spinach is a really cute name too.
Oh,
It's
thanks.
adorable.
look at how
She's
cute
just,
she is.
She's just chilling. I mean,
She's
so
very
sweet.
chill. She's
Wow.
8 weeks old. She's been playing with Bluetooth like constantly all day, every day. I got her a week ago, and for the first few days, like Bluetooth was very jealous,
yeah.
and it was not a good situation. And I was kind of like feeling like, did I mess up? Because like, I got her for him. I mean, I don't really need another dog, and I have enough work with my animals that I have. But he loves other dogs so much. With the
Mhm.
pandemic, he's just, his life is a little more boring. He doesn't see as many dogs. I'm not really going to the dog park. He's not really meeting other dogs. Friends aren't coming over with dogs. So I just thought, oh, he deserves to have a friend. So that's kind of why I got her.
It's a valiant effort. I love it.
Yeah, and she's great.
She's so cute. Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think I saw a video of them playing together. It was
And you
adorable.
just got a puppy as well. What's up with that?
I did also. I mean, what's really weird is they're the exact same age.
Oh,
He's
really?
He's also 8 weeks. Chocolate Lab. He's not actually my dog. He's my parents' dog. But I just.
Oh, okay, cool.
I just was over there yesterday. For what? Well, I was dog sitting there. So okay, maybe I should just start at the beginning.
There's
which
a
is
white
that
one as well.
Yeah, my parents got a puppy about 2 months ago, or maybe a month ago. And she's an American Eskimo, who's like a little white fluffy dog, and then her name's Josie, and then they.
I also just FYI, I also
Yeah.
am an American Eskimo. Just FYI.
Oh, good, yeah.
Yeah.
But you've kind of like dyed your hair a more brown. It looks like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just how I identify. Just FYI.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue. Yeah.
All right, sick. And then yesterday they went to go pick up their second puppy, Joey, and even I'm getting these names confused. I will admit it's Josie and Joey. And Joey is a chocolate lab who is 8 weeks old and is just simply adorable. I mean, he like could barely even walk. It was just like I was just melting. I mean, he was just like flopping around, like so young that he just is getting the idea of where like ledges are and how to maneuver. And then
Why did they get two dogs so close together?
a kind of similar reason, just like that. I mean, even when I was growing up, we pretty consistently had two dogs. And then the previous two that they had, they both passed away like in the past year and a half, I would say. And so then they just kind of wanted like, they wanted more activity in the house for sure. I mean, they're empty nesters at this point with me and my brother out. So yeah, my brother is in the chat right now. Johnny, not Joey. Oh, did I say Joey? Because Joey's our old dog.
Yes,
See, it's
you
very
did.
confusing. It's very confusing. So Josie and Johnny is what I meant. Anyways, it was an adorable day yesterday watching them get to meet each other. And 8 weeks. I mean, man, I wish Johnny and Spinach could meet.
Yeah, Spinach went to puppy class today, her first class.
Is that like spin
Um,
class or?
Yeah, it's like spin class.
Okay.
Well, I did it for my other dog, and it's great because it's like half the class is like you teaching your dog certain commands, and the other half is just the dogs playing all together. Normally, you go, and that all happens in a room with 10 other people or whatever.
Mhm.
Because of the pandemic, the first half of the class is on Zoom, where the teacher's kind of teaching you stuff, and then you're kind of doing some individual training with your dog.
Oh, cool.
And then the second half is I drove to like their headquarters or whatever, and I just kind of gave them my dog, and then I sat in my car and watched on a stream video for half an hour of her playing with the other dogs.
And then they like kind of train her for you a little bit or something.
That's just playing. So
Oh,
'cause
okay.
half the class is playing just because it's really important for dogs to interact with other dogs, and
Yeah.
a lot of new dogs. like interact with a bunch of different dogs, just so that they're always good with other dogs when they see them on walks and stuff like that. And then the other half is you training the dog yourself. I would highly recommend puppy class for anyone who's interested in getting a puppy.
I mean,
It's
I should
really
tell
helpful.
my parents about this.
Yeah, they should really do it, especially now because it's like there's obviously less interaction in the world for them.
Totally.
It's so helpful to just have a lot of new experiences as a young puppy.
Yeah. And speaking from experience as well as a young pup, I mean, I love
Oh,
to
yeah.
meet other
Yeah.
young pups, and it's been really
Yeah.
hard in this pandemic.
I
for
know.
me to meet other young
Pu-
pups.
Pups gone wild up in
Yeah.
here. Or no, actually, it's more like pups gone mild because the pandemic. It's pups gone mild. That's
Pups
actually the whole
No, it's like pups gone child.
pups gone child. This whole pandemic, it's been girls gone mild, and I'm so sick of it.
Right. I mean, pups have been going pretty not wild though. I mean, like I feel like they just got people around all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
like at this point, it just seems like I don't know. They don't really have to deal with being alone ever.
Right, that's true. as
You
well.
know, like
But that's bad. Separation anxiety is not
right.
good. Yeah.
Totally. I mean, it's gonna be interesting
So,
for these
yeah,
little
that will
puppies
be
to watch them
interesting.
grow up, but we'll see.
Well, it'll be
Anyways,
interesting to watch children grow up too from this, like babies and stuff. I have my
But-
friend's child is apparently having issues because of it. Like,
How old is the kid?
He's 2.5. I think he'll be 3 in July. And so, like,
Right.
when they go outside, they'll go on walks every once in a while. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But if there's any like other human beings not in his immediate family, he'll be like, "People bad."
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a good time to have a baby. Like if you had a baby a year ago, you're like stoked because you had to be inside anyway raising your
Right.
baby, and it's like you're kind of. I think when people have a baby, they're like, "Oh, I have no social life. I have nothing going on." So people who had a baby last March are kind of like, "Oh, I lucked out because I was going to be inside all the time anyway."
right.
But having a toddler is like really sad because they can't experience the
Yeah.
world at all.
and
Right.
they want to like meet other kids.
Well, they're
Totally.
right at the age where they're supposed to be kind of like socializing more, and
Yeah.
also there's all kinds of developmental things that are supposed to happen, like
Yeah.
talking and stuff like that. And I think that kind of thing is, well, I don't know if it's getting stunted or not because of this, but it could be. I don't know.
Right.
But at
Right.
the same time, he's also like an adorable, sweet child, so I don't know.
Aw.
I'm sure he'll be fine. But it is interesting to see like how this will affect just kids in general. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, hopefully, this is the final year of
I think it
craziness.
is. Oh yeah. I think that things are going to start going more public, like starting in May. That's my guess. My hope, at least.
Yeah, you guys
I
gonna
hope.
get vaccinated, or are you anti-vaxxers?
Um,
Or would you wish to not say?
No, I'm just curious what you guys. I want to hear what you'll say first. I'm just curious.
Oh yeah, I will. I would 100% get it. Yeah. I mean.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm ready. I mean,
Yeah. I mean.
I
whatever.
will say though, like, I will admit that I'm glad I'm not like the first wave. You know what I mean?
Right.
But at this point, I would get it, like, because now it's what, like 9-10 million I was seeing people have gotten it. So
Yeah.
now I kind of feel like, all right,
But then
I would
again,
be ready,
it's
but
like
I can't get it yet, obviously.
I think it definitely influences me to see other people doing it. Like, because when I first heard about it, I was like, I'm not getting that for like a year.
My friend got it
Just
the other
like-
day in like kind of a crazy way.
Really?
Really?
How so?
He just got a job distributing the vaccine at the Dodger Stadium. And then at the end of the day, they had just like a bunch of extra that were going to expire. And they were just like, okay, anyone who wants one can get one.
No
That's what
way.
I keep hearing. I keep
Yes.
hearing that like
What
there's
the
so
heck?
many and that they're
Yes.
expiring, but then it's like,
That's
Yeah.
but
so
everyone
weird.
is trying to get this. So how
I
is that
inter- I-
possible?
I interviewed a guy on my podcast yesterday, just this guy who works in a hospital, but like he was a medic in the Navy, and he works in kind of like more of a clerical kind of way in the hospital. Like he's not first in line to get a vaccine at all, but he was at work 2 days ago, and he just got like an email blast that was just like, "Hey, we have 100 doses that are going to expire today, so come get them." And so he just like ran down to the little room and got one.
They're gonna
It's
expire
so
today.
crazy.
Like, what time do they expire?
They said
on
in
a
2
specific
hours.
Hour and
No, they said
2
no. He
hours.
said that to us. He said they expire
That is
in 2
insane.
hours. I know.
Oh my
How-
god! Like
okay.
I wouldn't fucks with that.
Yeah.
You know
That
what I mean?
begs the
'Cause it's like what,
question
like
Yeah.
What
How
happens
long
if you
are-
take an expired vaccine? Are you gonna freaking have an expired coronavirus infection?
You're gonna
Oh,
Or you
no,
get
expire.
like partially like moldy coronavirus?
You
up in your
expire.
shit?
That's the you expire. That's the problem.
Yes. No,
I
but now
mean-
I'm wondering, like, how long do these even last if they're
That's
already
the problem.
expiring?
Not very much. I mean, that's like the whole thing with the vaccine is like they're saying like, making the vaccine was a crazy accomplishment, but now getting it to everyone is also really crazy because they expire and they have to be, stored cold
Right.
and shipped cold and all this stuff. I think it's
Wow.
it's very difficult.
It feels like there's gonna be like a better version of it or something.
Right.
Why
You know,
don't
like,
they just like freaking have a bunch of extra people waiting on standby who are like eligible to get the thing if they have extras or whatever? You know what I mean?
Well, I think certain states are very like choosy about who they're giving it to, and I don't know. There's
Well,
all,
yeah, but
like,
that's what I'm saying. It's like if they have extras and they're being like, "Yo, anybody want some extra ones? We have some." Like they're going to expire.
apparently in New Jersey you can get one if you say you're a smoker.
if you say you're a smoker,
really?
Yeah, like they're giving
Oh
it to
my God.
smokers first.
that's
what I heard.
amazing.
Smokers first.
That's what
They're
I
like-
heard.
They're like children, elderly, whatever. But if
No
you smoke,
smoker.
you're in.
That's what I heard.
Damn, I gotta take up some smoking, I guess. Give me a vaccine.
If you just reek of tobacco, they'll give it
Right.
to you.
Yeah, you just gotta chain smoke on your way
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm a ways away from being on that list, but
Yeah.
but I think California is, or actually, I guess maybe it's just San Francisco. I'm not sure how it is in other counties, but I think they're going to be moving to 65 and older, like anyone 65 and older, in the next couple days here.
Oh, that'd be my daddy.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
you go.
yeah. No, that's yeah. I thought that's what they were doing at this point.
Because my daddy lives up there. That's why I say it.
Oh, right. I see. What
Oh, right, got it. All right. So should we get to this to this movie here? I think it's probably about time.
yeah.
And we can still fold in some fun stuff as we proceed, but yeah. So we are going to be talking about Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery. It's a 1997 comedy that was directed by Jay Roach, who didn't. I was looking into his IMDb. It didn't look like he did much of anything before this, but after this, he also did Meet the Parents and Meet the Fockers, which was the sequel, and he also directed the Austin Powers sequels as well. So, anyways, this film, Austin Powers, it's co-produced and written and starring Mike Myers, who plays Austin Powers, and he also plays Dr. Evil, who's the nemesis of Austin Powers. And supporting roles are Elizabeth Hurley, Robert Wagner, Seth Green, and Michael York. And it's this Austin Powers, if you aren't familiar, is sort of a parody of James Bond or just 60s spy kind of iconography and films. And yeah, so we all rewatched this movie. Or actually, that's my first question. Had we all seen this movie before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And then do you guys remember when the last time that you watched it was? Or
Yes.
I don't remember. I don't remember at all.
Well,
Yeah.
I watched it pretty recently.
oh, really?
I watched it like.
Okay.
I watched it again today, but I watched it
Right.
like over the summer.
Okay. Whoa.
Or, no,
that's-
sorry. No, I watched. I guess it was last year because I watched it with my little brothers
Oh.
just
Okay.
for fun, and
It's
it
been
was
years for me. I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
maybe decades since I've watched it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think I'm in the same.
before
boat
that.
as
It had been like decades.
Okay.
But yeah,
Interesting that you had just recently watched it.
yeah. Like we
yeah.
had wanted to revisit it also.
Right. I mean, I was curious. I was curious to see if it was going to hold up, and we're going to get into it here. If you're watching, we're not gonna spoil the film if you haven't seen Austin Powers initially, but but we will be talking the plot. I mean, I feel like this isn't really one that's that.
I don't think you can
crucial
spoil
to-
it.
yeah, I don't think there's a ton to
This
spoil.
is
You're
a
not really watching it for the plot.
non-expirational vaccine.
Spoiler alert: he is.
Oh, I think
Here's
your
what you
mic
just cut
Yeah.
out.
Oh,
you did that
spoiler!
on purpose.
There you go.
Spoiler alert: he is horny.
yeah. It's very true.
It's funny because you were like, "Spoiler alert!"
yeah, it almost seems
got-
like you were censoring yourself. You're like,
No,
I
my
don't want to
mic-
say horny, but
I have this mic cord and it just cuts out sometimes. I gotta get a new one.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, so we're gonna give our first impressions first, and then we'll kind of talk about the plot in just a second here. But Andrew, why don't we start with you? What did you think of rewatching Austin Powers?
Yeah, I mean, I will say overall it was funny and pretty good. I will say comedy in particular ages poorly in terms of like what's acceptable and what's like woke and stuff. So like there are definitely a lot of cringy moments where you're like, "Oh, that is like not okay." But, watching them, when the movie came out and was a cultural phenomenon 4 years ago or whatever, those conversations were certainly not part of the feedback. So it's
Right.
clearly just, sensibilities have changed. But besides that stuff, which, at times is a little bit like, oh, that is not okay, which I think is just interesting to kind of analyze that
Observe,
in terms
yeah.
of, what's, what has changed. But otherwise, it's very funny, a lot of funny jokes. It's very silly. The plot's a little bit like, I mean, kind of whatever,
Secondary.
but
Yeah.
it's funny and the acting is really funny, and I mean, Seth Green was really funny in it.
I
I
was
thought
just gonna
Yeah.
say
he
the
was like
same.
really
Seth
funny.
He's
Green's really good,
hilarious.
yeah.
Like the
That-
first moment he shows up, I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I didn't realize how funny he was before.
Yeah,
really good,
those
yeah.
scenes are like the funniest in the movie, I think. And
Yeah.
Just his first opening scene.
yeah,
He
Right
just
when he
comes
shows up,
out-
he's like, God, Dad.
yeah,
He's
that's funny.
so that character. It's like
Yeah,
perfect.
but no, it was a good. I mean, overall, it was a good watch. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Laura, what did you think?
Loved it.
Loved
I'm
it.
like, I mean, well, I feel like the comedy, the funniest parts of the movie all kind of mostly happen in the first like 30 minutes, like with most comedies in general. But for me, like this movie makes me laugh out. Like the funny parts in this movie, just the very opening moment that you see Austin Powers or Mike Myers, like it's so funny. He's
It is,
absolutely hilarious. Like his whole presence and his just body and everything about him, his expressions are just laugh out loud hilarious. And also it's like so well choreographed and so well directed, that whole opening sequence where he's just like with this freaking parade of people like doing flips. It's just hilarious. I mean, it's great, and just everything about him, and his teeth are so funny too. And that was another thing I was going to mention. Like when I started seeing the beginning of that next movie or whatever, and I didn't know if it was part 2 or 3, his teeth are like not bad anymore because I
Well-
guess because he gets them fixed or whatever.
Well,
Spoiler
yeah.
alert. But like I'm thinking, man, that is a huge part of why he's so funny in this movie. I
Yes.
feel like,
Yeah.
and like without those teeth, it's not as funny.
Kind of an interesting thing that they made that choice, that they would.
Well, I know. I would think that they would just come up with a reason why his teeth had to be bad again. You know what I mean? Like in the
Yeah.
other one, I would think. But
Well, it's also such an absurd movie. It's like you don't have to have a logical reason.
exactly.
Yeah, they could just
exactly.
get
I
bad
know.
again. They could just
No,
get
that's
You
bad.
just
what
be
I
like,
mean. That's
oh,
what I mean. He's
I
like-
forgot to brush them.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know, baby. Like these teeth were just me. I couldn't live without them.
There we go.
I
We
miss
did
the
it.
smell of them. I don't know.
The
something.
first Austin Powers impression.
They could have made like a funny joke about it, but instead it was like they totally did not have it. And I just thought, are they not seeing that this is like not as funny as it used to be, And anyway, but but yeah, and I also feel like the teeth inspired him in the way that he performed that character too. Just like
Right.
all his movements, everything about him, like all his facial expressions, they kind of really do revolve around the teeth. You know what I mean? Like that
Nick-
first moment when he's like, how he's just like,
yeah.
it's
I mean, the
teeth.
reveal.
But
the
it's like
reveal
the
of him is
facial
great.
expression. It's all, you know how like if you put on a costume, you can become a thing, like with Snapchat or whatever. You know what I mean? Like using face filters can really inspire a character, and you can become that character when you have a certain thing going on. And I think that was really happening for him. But anyway, I thought, and yes, I noticed for sure like some of the interesting cultural, like sexual like differences and what was acceptable back then versus what's acceptable now. And I definitely thought like, oh my God, that would never fly in today's like,
Right, and
cultural standards. But
it's
at
kind
the
of funny
time-
too, though, because like the film addresses that as well, because he's coming from the '60s and he's
Right.
moving into the '90s, and they're like,
But
Austin
even
Powers,
that-
that's not acceptable. But then it's funny because like then there's other things that are happening that are now 30 years later
not
are also not
acceptable.
acceptable. It's kind of like
Well, it's also kind of like, I mean, I don't feel that this is a spoiler at all, but like to be specific, like the one scene that I was personally thought like was interesting about how Elizabeth Hurley reacted to Mike Myers in the movie was that like right when she meets him, or I guess when they're on the airplane on the Austin Powers like private jet together or whatever, which is a really cool like set. Also, I want to say I love the art direction in this movie. It's just so great, you know. It all like looks so perfect, you know. But I feel like they spent their money really well on the production. But that sequence where he's like basically coming on where he's like, let's shag, baby. And she's like, Austin, what are you doing? And she's like really not into it. And then he's like, come sit down over here. And right after he just like comes onto her in a really kind of aggressive way that's like inappropriate, she is not interested in him clearly sexually, but then she's like okay with going and sitting next to him on this bed. And I'm like, why would she do that?
Same situation. She's just kind of like, you're
like,
too much, blah blah. And she's like, okay, I'll come over. And then he like pretends to fall on her. That was the most uncomfortable scene in the movie.
Right. And she's like, get off of me. And then, but then I will say it's followed up with actually a really funny moment when she like gets off of the bed that's spinning around, and then she goes and sits on the other side, and he's still like doing poses on this rotating bed, and it is funny, but it's like,
I mean, I think
interesting.
I think the overall message of the film is like pretty problematic in terms of like their love story, because it's like their whole situation starts out where they're professionals working together, and he's just like flirting with her like crazy, and it's just like really inappropriate and like pretending to fall so he can lay on top of her and stuff. And she's just kind of like, stop, I will never fuck you, whatever. And then he keeps trying, and then he does, and it's a little bit kind of like encouraging that behavior. Like even if they say no and you work with them, if you keep trying, it will eventually work out.
But then she like gets drunk and wants to hook up with him. And
I know,
like, no.
but it's like not a great message.
Yeah.
Well,
but I also feel like when the hell did they fall in love? Because I feel like we really it just skipped straight
right,
to like
exactly.
all of a sudden she was like no, and then it was like a couple scenes
But then
later.
she kind of hints that she thinks he's like charming and funny because she's like turned around. She has her back turned towards him on the jet plane. But then she's like laughing because he's so ridiculous, and she does find him funny, and she's kind of charmed by him.
Right.
Even though she's like also repelled by him. I mean, it's kind of, they're giving mixed signals from the beginning, but I agree. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? But I also didn't really care that much about that. I'm more just like, I'm not watching the movie for the love story, you know what I mean? We're watching the movie for just like the funny, ridiculous characters that Mike Myers is playing, and that's how I just kind of watch it, you know what I mean? But anyway, what did you think, Dominic?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. I mean, you know, I remember loving this movie when it first came out as a kid. I thought it was hilarious. I've watched it over and over and over and over. I mean, I haven't watched it in a long time, but I watched this movie a lot, and to the point that when I was watching it now, it was I forgot a lot of scenes, but then the second the scene would start, then I would remember the punchline, and I was like, oh, right, this scene. It's like, and this scene, and this scene, and this scene. So it was like a weird sense of like, almost like I had almost memorized this movie in a weird way. But I still just was, I was like excited to see those moments again, and a lot of them really held up. Certainly some just kind of fell into a more just dumb, you know? Like, and not even just offensive or anything, because there was a few, I mean, I agree with you, Andrew, that there was like a few moments in here where it was just like kind of cringy in that sense, but then there was also just jokes that I just felt just weren't really, they were just kind of dumb and just kind of like silly.
Right,
and
after the first 30 minutes.
No, I still think there was some pretty good ones.
No, there are funny ones like sprinkled throughout, but there's a lot of like stupid stuff too. Don't get me wrong. As with most comedy movies, though.
Yeah, but man,
I feel like
really
you kind of have to expect that.
I really loved Frau. What's her name?
Her?
Frau.
I felt
something.
like she was kind of annoying, actually.
Oh man!
Like sometimes she'll say things, and I'm like, oh god, that was so cringe-worthily, like hideously bad. When she's like, when she goes, Lucky Charms, it's a kid's cereal, and he likes to jump around, and I'm just like, oh my god, stop this woman, please, because she goes on, and it's just not funny. I feel. I mean, I felt like it was really funny when. I know when the Irish guy is like showing his Lucky Charms, and he's like, they're always trying to steal me Lucky Charms. That is hilarious. That's
Well, no,
hilarious.
but to me, what makes it hilarious is her coming back and then being like, "Oh, you know, it's a little kids commercial with the Lucky Charms, and he's trying to get them." I mean, I don't know.
Oh, really? I
I
didn't
was
like
into it.
that.
I mean, yeah.
But hey,
Nikki's in the
you know.
comments. Nikki's in the comments here, and he's saying that I guess he goes back to 1969 in part 2, and that
Yeah.
his teeth become bad again. And,
Oh, part
and
2.
he also is mentioning the group therapy scene. He was saying that's his favorite scene. I like that scene. I like it. I like
It's
it.
a funny,
I was
it's a
okay
darn
with it.
funny scene, but like when he's like, my mother was a 16-year-old prostitute
Right,
named
yeah,
Sally
the-
with webbed feet.
I mean, the writing on that's
Hilarious.
actually pretty good. I mean, I love the
You
writing
think that
of
he
that
like
scene.
improvised that whole part or what? Because it is
Hell
just,
no.
how did they come up with that? It's
What's
just
up
so
with,
funny.
What's up with like when's the last movie where like someone plays like a bunch of parts? Like people don't do that anymore.
Yeah, that
They
really
don't
was like a
make- but they-
90s.
I guess Tyler Medea does it or whatever.
Yeah.
Medea.
Well, what's like the last funny like feature length movie that came out?
Sorry, Tyler Perry. Medea are his movies. I called him Tyler Medea. Wait, say it again, Laura.
What's the last like really funny feature length movie that came out that was like hilarious?
Disaster Artist, Borat.
I
I mean,
knew you were gonna say Disaster Artist, but like honestly, that's not like funny the whole time.
I think it was
mean,
pretty funny. I mean, I was into it.
okay.
But look, that's,
It doesn't
that's
make
my
me laugh.
opinion.
It to me that doesn't make me laugh out. Okay, Borat. Okay, I will say that's okay. Not Borat, but like, well, I just think Sacha Baron Cohen. That's definitely up there. So
But
I
comedy
would-
is so
that makes
subjective,
sense.
and it's also kind of like, you know, I'm sure there's comedy films that people
I feel like
that
there were
we
just
don't.
more funny comedies back then. Like I don't feel like there's as funny of movies.
I think they
these
don't
days.
make as much money.
Why? Well, because they're not as funny. Like if they had really, I mean, imagine if a movie like Austin Powers came out now that was like a new concept. Because that movie is just such a great production, really, right? I mean, it's got all these elements going on. It's got really cool characters, and it has like really cool set designs. Visually, it's like stunning. You know what I mean? And it's well directed, and it's.
I think it
hilarious.
really is a business thing where comedy movies are more fickle in terms of whether or not they're going to make a lot of money, and a lot of Hollywood decisions are based on money.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like rom-com is kind of
Yes.
the new comedy right now. Like, I feel
Totally.
like it's got to have this romance element, otherwise they
Yes.
won't make it.
Yeah.
It's not just like silly, stupid comedy like Austin Powers or something. You
Like
kind
What's
that
the
movie-
last
that-
great rom com though?
That movie, The Long Shot, that was actually really good and really funny.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I don't think anyone did, but it was just straight up really funny. And that's also very. I mean, it's a rom com very very much. But that's a really funny movie that I saw like a couple years ago.
By the way, I'll just say this cake is freaking tight.
Oh wow, yeah,
Really?
you really plowed
Let me,
into
just,
it.
let me just show you what it looks like on the
Oh, see, look,
inside.
already now I'm way more interested.
I mean, hello. Look at
Yeah.
this gorgeous.
So we're looking
right
we're
here.
looking at this. What is this, like a cookies and cream kind of looking
It's
thing?
cookie. Yes, as I said before, it's cookies and cream ice cream with white cake,
Okay.
and the cake itself is cold. It's like all refreshing and cold.
Mm,
Yummy.
mm,
And the icing is cold too.
mm.
What would make this better though, I feel, is I wish I could have this. An ice cream cake like this where there's cake and ice cream on the inside and the outside was not just frosting, but it was fondant. I'll leave you with that.
Mm, mm.
Right.
Alright,
Okay.
yeah.
What about Doctor Evil? I mean, I feel like we haven't really talked about Doctor Evil too much.
Oh, right. Funny. Pretty funny.
Pretty funny.
I mean, pretty funny. No, I mean, I actually felt like a lot of his. To me, I think overall more of his scenes were funny to me than some of the Austin. I feel like Austin Powers is kind of like hit and miss to me sometimes. Like it's
Well, that's because Mike Myers is way funnier than Mike Myers.
right. I mean, it must be
He's just a better actor. He's funnier.
right. I don't know. Like I like his little Macarena dance that he does. I like
Yeah,
his
that
little
was funny.
Meow Mix song. I like there's so many little funny ticks that they put in that character that I thought were really fun throughout this whole thing.
Yeah, like the
and-
way he walks and the way he moves is really funny.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. He's like just kind of he's like an awkward dad
Awkward.
who also
yeah.
wants to take over the world. You know. I don't know. I mean, I just feel like this movie's got a lot of fun elements that I think still hold up pretty well. It is interesting, Andrew, that you brought up just kind of how comedy changes over time. I'm also kind of wondering, like, beyond
Yeah, it
just the kind of PC element of it, I think also just comedy, just what people like, or like, because this is so maybe not slapstick, but just so silly. It's just so just outrageous that I feel like now it's more. I don't know, like what's in now. I feel like now it's just like
Well,
shorter
I
stuff
think a
and
lot of it is.
TikToks and shit.
I also think a lot of it is political. I think
Right.
under a Trump presidency, everything had to have a message, and you had to fight, whatever, and like everything had to be extra woke to fight the injustice in the world and whatever. And I hope under, a president that is less stressful for everyone, that maybe absurdism will have a comeback, because I personally prefer absurd stuff in terms of comedy.
As do
And
I.
there hasn't been a lot of absurd comedy in a
And
while.
I mean, like in the last 10 years, let's say. I mean,
There's some absurd stuff. Like, have you seen what's that movie?
well,
I'm
definitely
blanking.
Sacha Baron Cohen.
The movie with the like
Oh,
black
Zac
exploitation, the black exploitation parody movie,
Oh,
Black Dynamite.
oh, I didn't see that.
That movie is
Oh,
really
did
funny.
I see that?
Oh,
I
is
might
it?
have seen that.
You guys should watch that movie. It is so funny. It's one of the
Really?
funniest movies I've ever seen. Yes,
Really?
it's
Really?
so funny. Yeah,
That
that's
you've
a really
ever
good
seen?
example.
2009.
It's really, really funny. Yeah, it really
Wow.
is. It's like totally up your Black Dynamite.
It is?
Made it-
Who's Alley?
Yeah, both your. Well, I was thinking Laura's Alley,
Both your
but
I
alley.
mean, we got pretty similar alleys, I gotta say.
yeah.
Up your alley, motherfucker.
But no, it's just so funny. But yeah, there aren't a lot of absurd comedy. What We Do in the Shadows, people liked that,
Didn't
Oh
see
yeah, I thought that was okay.
I
I liked it. I mean, I liked it.
Yeah, I didn't love it, but I liked it. But
Yeah.
Black Dynamite's really funny.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
Anyway,
I'll check this out. I haven't seen this.
there are these absurd comedies, but they're few and far between, and they're
Yeah.
a little more like hidden. Like you kind of have to seek them out a little more.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like Austin Powers is absurdist necessarily, or
Yeah.
I think it's pretty absurd. Yeah.
okay?
That's
okay.
like what it is, right? I mean, that would be like the
I suppose so.
definition.
I suppose
Yeah,
so.
it's pretty absurd.
I was also
But I
pretty
think
into
that's
those-
kind of what I think that's kind of what Sacha Baron Cohen is. I mean, I guess he's political, obviously, but like, but why I think he's funny is because of his absurd stuff. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Where he's
totally.
like just being, just a character, and the nuances and like the different expressions. That's what I find funny.
Mhm, mhm.
Like I find an expression funny. You know what I mean? I don't find like I don't laugh from my belly, you know what I mean, when it's like intellectual so much as
Mhm.
I do when stuff is just like visceral.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I also really liked in Austin Powers the '60s little transitions that they were doing. I felt like those were so spot on, and they
Yeah.
really just like made me laugh. Like it's like they are so accurate, and then just like placing the character of Austin Powers into that realm was just like funny every time to me. I mean, it was just so good. Like I love the moment where it like zooms in on his teeth as the final.
Right,
It's like
right.
the final transition, and then like
Right.
goes to the next scene. I'm just like, this is so good. The set designs of those little transitions.
I know.
You know, like
I know.
where the band's playing or whatever. Like
Totally.
all those boxes and
I
the
know.
swirly.
That's what I'm
It's
talking
so
about.
good. I mean,
All those little things add up to such a great like overall finished product, in my opinion.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
like
set
all
design's
these
awesome.
exciting scenes in the beginning where they go to like the different, like the Pussycat Club or whatever, and just the stuff in the '60s is so fun to watch.
Mm.
Wait, so what's up with Mike Myers now? He just does Gong Show.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
wondering
know.
what's up with him. What is up with him?
He did the Gong Show, I guess. But
What's
I
the
don't even
Gong
know.
Show?
I
I
have
don't
no
know.
idea what that is.
it's like I only know because I tried to write for it, but it's like it's like people do like variety acts, like they kind of do like it's like a talent show, and this character is like kind of the host, and many people have played the character over the years. I think it was like popular in the '60s and stuff. Anyway, Mike Myers is playing it now, but I think that's the last thing I've heard of him doing.
Yeah,
What
maybe he's
channel
just
is it
kind of
on?
like chilling.
What channel is it? Has like episodes and stuff?
Gong Show?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like a reality show. Like all these kind of weirdo like clown performers in LA do it and stuff.
Oh, what channel is it on?
I think it was on like NBC, or I mean, it's like a big network show, ABC or something.
Oh, I was gonna say I watched some Shark Tank last
That's
night.
the best TV show
That's
of
a
all
thing.
time.
Oh my God! Wait, what?
Very
Do-
interesting.
I have been. That's
I
been
love
like
it.
my nightly thing that I've been
It
watching
has?
like through all of quarantine. I have
Really?
like I mean, I gotta
It's
say,
pretty
it's
fun.
kind of like a secret little thing that I do.
Oh, it's great.
Why
I
is
mean,
it secret?
in the
It's
final
good.
hours of my day, you know.
I've
I
seen
mean,
every
it's like-
episode. I mean, I've
You
seen them
have?
all.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
I'm just about to. I mean, because I started with the later seasons, I guess, just whatever was the most recent thing that popped up on Hulu when I first started it. And then I finished all those, and I was like, well, I'm going to need way more than this. And so then I went back like a couple seasons, and then I blasted through 2 more seasons. I was like,
So
all right,
good.
I guess I'm going back to season 1, episode 1. And then now I'm like in season 2, somewhere in season 2, I think. I'm just like watching the whole thing play out. I mean,
Here's a
Lori
question.
just joined.
Have you bought anything from there?
Oh my
I want
god,
to.
I have.
I saw
have.
something last night that I was like, I'm gonna get that.
What
which
have
is
you
that
gotten?
I want
Yeah,
to
what'd
try
you get?
that fake chicken. That you know those guys who made that chicken salt thing or whatever.
Oh yeah, the fake chicken salt
But
recently.
supposedly the fake chicken was really good.
Yeah.
And I
yeah.
just
The
thought, I
powder,
wanna try
right?
that.
It's like a powdered
Yes,
chicken.
and it turned you like turn it into a paste, and then you can like mold it into whatever.
Wait, Dominic,
shape.
what did you buy?
The only thing that I did buy was the coconut drink. It's like a whole coconut that they put into...
The with like the mad doctor.
Yes, the
on
mad
thing?
scientist. Oh, what is it called? I forget the actual brand name.
It's really good. I've had that.
It's so good.
I've had
You
like
had it?
everything. Oh yeah,
I mean,
I've had a
'cause
lot of products in the show.
I watched it and I watched them drink it. And I was just
It's
like,
a good
oh my God,
commercial for
I'm
stuff.
such a sucker.
Oh yeah,
for
it's
coconut.
huge. Oh,
did
those
you-
are good.
What did you get from it?
I've gotten everything really. I mean, let's see. I've had the coconut smoothies. I've had pipcorn, the little mini popcorn.
Yeah, I
Ooh, that
remember.
sounds good. Wait, mini popcorn.
It's good, yeah. Like all the vegan stuff. Like there's a lot of vegan stuff in later seasons, and I'm vegan, so I
Wait,
kind
do
of
you
like.
not want to try the fake chicken?
I'm interested. Sign me up.
Those
and then
guys, they got a deal.
there's a lot of stuff that I'm trying to think of like what the biggest thing. I think maybe the biggest thing I've ever got is the rinse kit, which
What's that?
is it's for like rinsing off stuff like supplies and stuff, but I use it for surfing. So
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like it's for like rinsing off your body, like
No,
you
that's
know,
just-
after you got
that's just
really
a-
dirty from Girls Gone Wild.
that's just a shower. But the rinse kit is you like it's like a pressurized thing of water where you just use your hose and it pressurizes it. Anyway, I use that after I surf.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm thinking of there was a woman on last night that I watched that she had like her invention was like not invention, but her product was like it was made out of a fire hose. And it's like
oh,
a
it's
weight.
exercise.
Yeah, and I thought that doesn't look fun.
Wait,
No,
But
some
I
of
don't
the
know.
stuff.
Maybe I was like, why would you want to get that? It's just a heavy thing. I mean, just get anything. I guess something about I must have not been paying attention the whole time, but
wait, it's like a fire hose that you just lift, and it's just a
Yeah.
weight that you use as weight.
Yeah, it's like a fire hose, but it's a little better.
no. But she said it's made out of real fire hose material. It's like
It
Did
is,
anyone
it
buy
is.
it?
That
Or
was her-
what? Did anyone
I
get
don't
cut
think
it?
she got a
no,
deal.
no, she didn't. She didn't get a deal.
Okay.
It didn't go
Because they-
great.
Yeah,
But-
it doesn't sound like it went great.
They liked her pitch, but then
I'm
they
out.
had problems with. Yeah, they said they were out basically.
Yeah.
No, but I never really watched Shark Tank before. But last night, so I'm just gonna mention this too to the people out there who are listening. Foxtails Brigade has a new single coming out a week from this Tuesday. It's called "Give Me a Sign," and Anton and I shot a little video for it last night. And our house was like a big mess after the video, but we like needed to clean up. So I was like, let's put some TV on while we clean up. And I was like, man, what are we gonna watch? Like I've watched everything I thought I wanted to watch at this point. And then he was like, I got something. And then we watched some we put Shark Tank on. He's like, how about some reality TV? And I was like, that sounds amazing.
Mhm.
Haven't really watched reality TV much in the last like 5 years or whatever. So I thought we were gonna be watching like Real Housewives or something. I was like prepared for that. But then he put Shark Tank on. I was like, this is good. I want to watch more. And so we watched it for like 3 hours last night.
Oh yeah, it's addicting.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool when you see these like some of these companies get a deal because it's like they're just so stoked.
All right, so who's
And
your
then
favorite?
they're
Who's your
living the
favorite
dream.
host, I guess, or shark, I suppose?
Oh, Shark?
Yeah, who's your favorite shark?
Well, that one guy who's like, what is he like, Peruvian or something like that? Or he's like, no, I really think that your deal is.
Oh,
like,
the guy
Oh,
who
the
started
Kind.
Kind Bars.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
kind
that guy. Oh, okay, yeah. So right, so there's like the guy who did Fubu. I guess he came.
Yeah.
Yeah, Damien.
I don't know
Damon.
what they all. I don't know
Damon.
what they all have done.
I like
what-
Robert Herjavec. He's my favorite.
Is he Mr. Wonder? Is there a Mr.
No.
Wonderful?
Mr.
I think
Wonderful's
Ro-
the middle dude. He's
Robert is
What
just
did
Robert's he's just always like has a smile on his face and he gets really excited about stuff. I like his personality the most.
Yeah, and he's funny sometimes, you know.
I like Robert. But they're all
Yeah.
good. In
What else did they do? Like, what else did the women, like, what about those women? What did they make?
Lori Greiner is the queen of QVC.
And she's my favorite.
Oh, she's your favorite?
Is she
She's
the
my
elderly
favorite.
woman? Is she
No,
the
no.
elderly woman or the young blonde? Like the
Elderly.
younger blonde.
Come on.
No, I
now.
mean there's like an older woman.
Yes,
Who
that's
actually-
Barbara Corcoran. Come on, you got to get up on it.
Sorry, what did she
I
do?
thought you watched 3 hours. What's up?
I did, but I didn't know what they.
I
what
don't
did
even
they
know
say?
what Barbara did, but she's.
Oh, see,
She
you
was
don't
a
know
real
what she did.
estate. She was a real estate
Oh.
mogul who
Oh, yeah,
turned
she was.
who turned a $10,000 loan into a multi-million-dollar business. That's
You
what
know
they say
what?
in the intro. So
You
it's
know
like-
what I found very interesting about one of the episodes? I guess she's the older woman that was on the show last night. There was a couple who was their pitch was for this aphrodisiac bar or whatever. They did not get a deal. It was like really, really bad, their whole presentation. And the woman, that elderly woman, she was like, listen, I could probably use your bar more than anybody on this stage. I haven't had a sexual thought in 15 years.
She says that really? Barbara
Like,
said that?
Yeah, or maybe she even said 30 years. And I
You
just
know
thought,
what's so fun? It's so
why
funny
are
that she
you
says
saying
that.
this to people?
It's so funny because she actually plays up the sexual card more than the others.
I
like
know, yeah.
whenever
Maybe
there's
I'm
like
talking about a different
whenever,
woman then.
No, whenever there's like
No, it's Barbara. Oh, you cut out. You cut
You're
out.
cutting out. You're cutting out.
whenever there's like a Boys Gone Wild situation with like their shirts off or whatever, she's always kind of like everyone's like Barbara, and she's like yeah. So
Yeah.
it's interesting that she would say that she's not sexual.
She
Yeah.
said she hadn't had a sexual thought in like 15 to 30 years or something. And I just thought,
Yikes!
that's an interesting thing to put out there. Like,
That's
walking
know.
around thinking you're some like dried up, like,
I'm thinking cut that.
I'm just
Yeah.
thinking, cut that. Yeah, it's not a good look. Not a great look. And I think everybody
Her
there was
husband's
just
like-
like, what are you saying, lady?
Her husband's sitting at home.
I think
watching
I
that.
think
He's
all
like,
the
"What?"
other sharks were like, cut that.
Cut that.
And then they
They
should have
all
left
looked at
that
her
in.
like, oh my
They
god.
should have left that part in. Everyone just looks at her and says, "Ooh, cut that."
It was just so weird. It's like, what is she? How does she expect people to receive that about her? You know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
anyway, maybe
Yeah,
she's
Mr. Wonderful
being honest.
annoys me. He's like so mean to everybody. Mark Cuban
He's
also
not
really
that
annoys me. He's
mean,
so
though.
mean to everybody.
Is he?
Yeah,
the
he's
Cuban?
pretty mean.
Oh, he's Cuban?
No, Mark Cuban.
Oh.
Oh boy.
What's the
Oh.
guy's name who talked like this? Kind of like he's like. I think he's
It's
like
the
a-
guy who invented kind. I don't know his name, but
Oh, kind.
I know who
okay.
you're
He's-
talking about.
Yeah, he's not on very much. He's like a
Oh,
newer
okay.
addition.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he's just in like the
Okay,
later
okay.
seasons,
Yeah.
or maybe just the latest season.
Yeah.
He's like, I think what you need to do is you need to have somebody like me getting in on the marketing. We're gonna do a whole, Amazon campaign. We're gonna reach millions. We're gonna make a fortune, but I want 33 and a third percent. Okay.
Oh boy! All right. It's probably about time to wrap things
Wrap
up. Here. Man, I mean, so I guess any final thoughts on Austin Powers? Pretty good.
Good
Pretty good for
movie.
me.
Watch it if you haven't seen it.
It's worth a watch.
Oh,
and,
it's certainly worth a watch.
Yeah.
And you know, don't base your entire way of flirting with people on the movie, but it's a good watch.
Yeah. Definitely.
What you
don't
want
need
to do is base your way of flirting with people on Girls Gone Wild. Part
That's how
one.
you do
Yeah.
it.
That's
wanna-
how you do it.
That's how you do it. Go
What's
to
his
Daytona
name? Joey
Beach.
Francis?
You got to do Joey Francis style.
What,
Yeah.
is that his name?
Yeah.
What's his name? Is it
It's
Joey
like-
Francis?
You've heard of Girls, but have you heard of Girls Gone Wild? Hi, Sharks. I'm Joey Francis.
Yes. Oh my God! I hope he comes on.
Is that his
later.
name? Is that really his name?
Something like that. I don't know. I had it on.
I thought I was making that up.
No, I had it on my computer, but I took it off.
Wait, does he like really attach his name hardcore to?
Well,
Girls
no,
Gone
I
Wild?
just was
I've never-
looking at. It's Joe Francis. You're right.
Oh my God! I totally thought I made that up, but I guess
And
I
he
did
looks-
hear you say Francis
and he looks.
earlier, but I didn't
He
know it was
looks
Joe.
exactly how you think he'd look.
Total
Right, just like a
sleazebag.
kind of like a
Yeah.
Guido kind of guy is what I imagine.
He's pretty sleazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not quite Guido, but like a sort of LA, like a Sunset Strip type of guy.
Right.
I don't know.
Andrew,
imagine.
where could people find you and your podcast and such and so
Yeah,
forth?
you can find me on all the social media. I'm still on it. I mean, you know, they're really clamping down on free speech, but for now I'm
Right.
on there.
Yeah.
And it's just Andrew Michaan, MICHAAN on Instagram and Twitter. And then my podcast is Podcast But Outside. We interview strangers, new episodes every Wednesday, YouTube and podcast apps.
Right on.
That's it
Um,
for me.
Cool, guys. Well, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you
Andrew.
so much.
Thank
Yeah.
you. This was so fun. It was super fun, funny.
Oh,
Really great
thank
to
you
have
for
ya.
being here.
Yeah.
Oh,
laughing.
and yes, yeah, as he already said, check out the show. Check out Podcast But Outside if
I
you
was
haven't seen
I
it.
was slapping and laughing the whole episode.
Slap and laugh. That's our motto. Slap and laugh.
That's right. So
that's
we
what we do.
our next episode will be on just pulling it up. Okay, January 31st. We're gonna have Spencer Owen as our guest. We haven't decided the movie, but you can follow us on Instagram if you want to hear about which movie we're gonna do. We'll post that probably a few days before.
And FYI, that is the day after my birthday, so make sure the day before you wish me a happy birthday, stuff like
okay.
that.
Will
Okay, yeah,
do.
absolutely.
Great,
Yeah,
great.
Maybe, yeah. If you want to decide the movie for your birthday, we'll take it into consideration.
Let
and
me
then
know
we
what
might
kind of
just
cake you
not.
want, and I will get one for you, and I'll eat
Okay.
it.
Right.
Cookie I want a monster cake.
I might get it. I might get it.
Right on.
You would never even eat one of these because you're
No,
vegan.
I wouldn't even look at it.
What
This
if
is
I
already
had
too
one
much.
made out of coconut bliss and
I wouldn't even
Ice
look.
milk,
Oh, I would look at
coconut
that
Oh,
one.
coconut bliss. I mean,
would
damn.
definitely look at that. You'd look.
Yeah,
you'd
you know
love
how
to
they
look
say
at
follow
that.
your bliss, follow your coconut bliss. You know,
That's right.
something to
You're
think
the one
about.
who introduced me to that bliss.
That stuff is good.
Coconut. It's very good.
Oh, it's so good.
Coconut bliss.
I've actually moved on though, sadly, to Nadamu.
Oh,
Anyway,
that is
we'll get into it. All right,
Is that or?
Oh, Nadamu! I have that in my refrigerator as we
it's
speak.
good.
Is that the oat
As we
milk?
speak.
Stuffer.
No, it's just what? You're cutting out.
You cut it.
Sorry, I'm out.
Cut
I'm
that.
out.
Cut that. All right, guys. Well, we will be back in 2 weeks with a new episode of Totally Tell Me. So we'll see you guys then. Bye, everybody.